If you've ever felt stressed about tracking sales, managing expenses, or figuring out what to charge, you're definitely not alone. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down small business finances in a way that's simple, clear, and actually doable. And then by the end, you'll have the foundations that you need to start managing your money with confidence. And I'll also be sharing some different systems and tools that have worked for me, including Xero, which has been an absolute game changer. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sterling, and on this channel, I share my experience as a multidisciplinary artist and my different insights on running a small business here with you all. So if you're interested in any and all of those things, make sure that you're subscribed and click that bell for notifications and join back up with me each week for more videos. As artists and makers, our first love is the creative process, of course. Painting, crafting, crocheting, woodworking, and jewelry making, or whatever your medium is. But here's the reality. Creativity alone doesn't build a sustainable business. Finances are inevitably the foundation that allows you to keep creating long term. So without clear money management, you could end up working countless hours, selling at markets each weekend, and then still wondering where all of the money went. I know some of my fellow artists who sell out there at craft fairs or online, and then by the time they subtract their booth fees, materials, transportation, and the cost of their time, they realize that they barely even broke even. And I used to do this as well, unfortunately. This can definitely be disheartening, and then over time, it can eventually lead to burnout. And so this is why it's so important to actually manage your finances before it manages you. And when you do, you'll actually have true freedom and peace of mind and the ability to continue running your business. And when you know your numbers, you can price your work confidently without second guessing. You can also decide which markets or sales channels are actually worth your time instead of treating your income like an unpredictable bonus. And you can handle tax season calmly instead of with panic. And then at the end of the day, money management is about valuing your work. If you don't have systems in place, you risk undervaluing your time and your art. But when you manage it well, you gain clarity, you know what's working and what's not, and you can also make decisions that support both your creative energy and your financial well-being. And what I've also realized over time is that good financial habits aren't just about having spreadsheets, but they're actually about sustainability. They actually allow you to keep creating the art that you love without constant stress of money holding you back. All right, so let's dig into some of the basics. And these are non-negotiables every artist and maker should definitely set up when it comes to their finances. So first, you want to separate your business and personal finances. This is step number one. If you only take away one thing from this video, let it be this. You want to open a separate bank account just for your business income and expenses. And why is that? Because when everything is mixed all together, it becomes completely impossible to know what's actually business related and what's personal. So let's say you buy $200 worth of yarn and you have on that same card, you have groceries, fuel, and Netflix. Well, at the end of the month, you'll be scrolling through bank statements trying to remember what was for your business and what wasn't. But with a separate account, you can see that every transaction is actually for your art and your business. You also want to track every sale and every expense. Every handmade sale counts. Everything from that $5 market sale to that $500 custom order. And the same thing goes for expenses, even the little ones. So that $10 roll of tape for packaging, you want to write that down. Those $50 for your market snacks, you want to write that down as well, because it all adds up pretty quickly and you won't know how much you're spending if you don't keep track of it all. And then when you track consistently, you can start to see patterns. You can see what markets bring in, you can see how much revenue you actually made from those. You can see what's the most profitable. You can see what's eating up your costs and also how much your supplies are. And you can have insight over what's going on in your business. You also want to understand your true costs. And this one's a really big one for us makers because so many of us underprice our work because we're only thinking about the cost of our materials. But the thing is that your time matters, your tools, the cost of electricity, shipping supplies, booth fees, all of those matter. So let's say, for example, it costs you $5 in materials to make a pair of earrings, and then you turn around and sell them for $15. Well, great, you made $10, right? But did you factor in how much you paid yourself in order to make those earrings? And also, did you include booth fees and payment processing fees? And then suddenly, before you know it, you're actually losing money. So knowing your true costs gives you the power to pay yourself confidently and fairly. And you really want to make sure to pay yourself even if it's small. And this is one that a lot of artists skip because it feels like we should reinvest every dollar back into the business. But if you never pay yourself for your work, then it can start to feel undervalued. And we talked about this a little bit in the last video in this series on how to set up a pay structure as well, because paying yourself builds the habit of valuing your time and your craft. And I know this is something that I definitely struggled with a bit when I was first getting started. So definitely check out that video if you haven't. Another thing is that you really want to plan for taxes. Taxes are the part that no one loves talking about, but ignoring them doesn't make it go away. And so the best thing is that you can set aside 20 to 30% of your income into an account just for taxes. And then that way, when tax season comes around, you're not in panic mode, you're already waiting. And of course, I'm not an accountant. I'm just a fellow small business owner who's speaking from my own experience. So now that we've covered the basics, I want to share what this actually looks like in my own creative business, because it's one thing to know what's great to do in theory, right? But it's another thing to have a workflow that you can actually stick to. So whatever I sell at a market or online, I make it a habit of tracking my sales that same day. Whether it's cash or whether it's digital, I just jot it down how much came in through Square or PayPal, or I'll count any cash that I made. And this takes less than 5 minutes, but it keeps me from forgetting later. And I'll also note which products sold the most. And this way, over time, I'll actually start to see which items are crowd favorites and which ones don't move as much. And this part sounds really tedious, but it saves me so much stress. Anytime I buy materials, yarn, paint, beads, display stands, even things like scissors or storage bins, I actually make sure that I keep that receipt. And if it's a digital receipt, I'll actually save the PDF to a folder on my computer. And if it's paper, I'll snap a photo of it and upload it to Xero. And this is truly a lifesaver because I used to be the person that held onto all my receipts and put them in a little bag, and I used to just get so disorganized really quickly. And then I tried to go and find them on my photo library on my phone later, or even on my computer. But by keeping them all in one place, I don't have to dig through bags, and I also don't have to go searching for them on my computer somewhere later on. Once a week, I'll also actually sit down and log everything into my accounting system. And this will include sales, expenses, and any new invoices or payments that I also need to track. And for me, this process takes about 30 minutes max, and it keeps everything from piling up over time. And also at the end of the month, I'll do a quick review. I'll look at the total income I've made and expenses, profit, which is everything left over, and I'll also compare it to the last month and quarter. And this review is like checking in with the health of my business. It tells me whether a specific market was worth the booth fee, or if there's a specific product that's draining my revenue, or if I need to raise my prices in general. It also checks little leaks like if there's a specific subscription that I'm paying for that I'm not actually getting use out of. During that monthly review, I'll also transfer money into 2 different accounts, one for taxes and the other for savings. Taxes gets about 25% of my income, and then savings gets a smaller portion for future investments like a new booth display or more supplies. And the most important thing here is just keeping up with all of my finances pieces and chunks. I like to avoid that giant end of the tax year scramble that I inevitably dread if I don't do this. And overall, this just helps me to have confidence with where I stand. So my advice is just to build a routine that works for you. Maybe that's 5 minutes every day or 30 minutes a week, like for me, or once a month. The most important thing here is to just stick with it, because over time, those little habits will really build a strong financial foundation. All right, so by now you might be thinking, this all sounds really great, Sterling, but how do I actually keep track of everything? Do I have to do this manually? And the good news is that you absolutely don't have to do that these days. There are lots of tools out there that make marketing and managing everything for your small business, including finances, so much simpler, especially as artists and makers. We don't want to be buried in spreadsheets all the time. And one of the biggest game changers for me with this has actually been Xero, which is the sponsor of this video. And honestly, it doesn't even matter if they weren't, because I'd be mentioning them anyways. I know that I've mentioned them in a few of my last videos because they've really helped streamline my financial workflow. Xero actually connects directly to your business bank account, so it'll actually take into account every sale and expense. And this way you don't have to manually manage everything and worry about missing anything. And remember how I also said I was collecting receipts and keeping it all in a bag? Well, with Xero, I can actually take a photo of that receipt and upload it, and it'll keep track of it, and it'll even match it to the actual bank transaction, which makes things so much easier. Also, if you do commissions or wholesale orders, Xero will actually let you create professional invoices in minutes and send them directly to your clients. And you can actually see when they've opened them, so you don't have to worry about them getting lost in their inbox. Also, at the end of the month, I don't have to build out any spreadsheets. Xero will actually generate clear reports so I can see my profit, loss, and cash flow from a glance. And the monthly review that I mentioned earlier is actually practically already done for me. And these little automations just really free up my time so that I can get back to actually creating, which is what I love most. So if you're just starting out, you don't have to have a super complex system. You can have a simple spreadsheet at first even, but as your business grows, investing in a tool like Xero can actually save you a lot of time and stress and just give you clarity overall on what you need to do to build a sustainable business. So if you're interested and want to check it out, then I've got a special discount for you in the description box below. Make sure that you click the link if you want to check it out. So there you have it. Money management doesn't have to be scary or overwhelming. If you just have a few simple systems, then you can actually go from guessing to knowing your numbers, which gives you so much more freedom and time to create. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to give it a like and also subscribe and click the bell to join back up with me for more videos like this. And also let me know in the comments, what is the hardest part of managing money in your business right now? I definitely would love to know, and we can just get a conversation going down there. And if you want to check out more videos in this series, make sure to head to the Entrepreneur playlist next. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me in the next one.